Hello again from Detroit. Yes, I'm still here in the Fox Theatre in Motor City to see the 2024 Chevrolet Silverado EV for the first time. I've already shown you around the vehicle and talked to Nichole Kraatz, Chief Engineer of the Silverado EV, and Ryan Vaughan, Chevrolet Design Director for the same. Now it's time to chat with Steve Majoros, Vice President of Chevrolet Marketing. Steve, thanks for joining us. Now, the Silverado nameplate is a big deal, both to General Motors, but also in the trucking world. Silverado owners are as loyal, if not more loyal, than Corvette owners. They've known the brand's technology, they've seen it grow, and suddenly they're faced with an electric vehicle. So how are you going to convince the dyed-in-the-wool, hardened, internal combustion engined pickup truck fans to ditch the Silverado HD, for example, and go electric instead?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. It's one we contemplate and ponder a lot. First, we're so proud of the loyalty we have with our current Silverado base. We've got great loyalty with Corvette, with Traverse. I mean, we're the kind of brand that instills that sense of connection with Chevrolet. So we're very thankful that we enjoy that sort of reputation with our owners. I think the first question is, are they loyal to Silverado? Are they loyal to Chevrolet? Are they loyal to capability or propulsion type? And I think everybody falls at a different place within that spectrum. The beauty is we called this Silverado for a reason, because we want to take advantage of that loyalty, that connection to the Silverado franchise, first and foremost. Secondly, we want to make sure that people know that this is first and foremost a Chevy truck. And so it's dynamic, it's beautiful, it's very different, it's ground up, but it's still rooted in the fundamentals and capabilities of performance, towing, hauling, etc. We have to deliver on those things, because if we don't, we won't be considered in the first place. But we brought it to them in a brand new sort of packaging, propulsion system, etc. Now, I think the important thing here is we're studying very closely EV adoption rates across a number of segments. So we're on about a quarterly basis. We're looking at compact SUV, mid SUV, full-size pickup, and we're asking people, you're in this configuration today. For your next purchase, would you consider the same segment with an electrified propulsion system? And what we're seeing in full-size pickup is that's growing pretty much the fastest across all these segments. So we see a lot of interest, but we certainly know that full-size pickup, much like a Corvette or certain products where it's a very highly considered and in many instances use case specific product purchase. So we have to make sure that it's fulfilling the needs that they've always done. So, will a Silverado HD turn at the same rate into electrification as perhaps a light duty pickup or another segment? Probably not, because there's capability, there's things that have to be overcome. But when you think about this product here and what a lot of full-size pickup owners use it for, towing, hauling, etc., this delivers in those regards and more, but it brings it to them in a brand new dynamic package, and it overcomes a lot of those barriers, whether they are performance related or related to electrification.
When making the transition between a gasoline vehicle and an electric vehicle, we have to talk about fuel. We have to talk about fuel choices. Now, as a hardened EV driver, someone who's been driving EVs for 10 plus years, I understand the concept of electric fuel. And a lot of people watching this channel understand the concept of electric fuel. But the Silverado EV is going to be targeted to a completely new market segment. How do you have that conversation with prospective owners about electric fuel, about recharging, and about having confidence so that they don't get range anxiety?
Yeah, it's a great question, and especially when people think about a full-size pickup. I'm a Bolt EV driver, so I've been one for a long time. I'm in the same camp as you and many of your audience, and so we kind of understand the space, but we also know that, a lot of electric vehicles up to this point have been smaller footprint, lighter vehicles, smaller battery packs, not as much. When you think about full-size pickup, the immediate concern is, wow, it's bigger, it's heavier. That's going to be a more daunting proposition. First of all, the Ultium platform is a great enabler there, so maximizing the chemistry of what we can bring forward. Number two, it's about the overall range. So range anxiety, we hear that term a lot. Over 400 miles, the greatest range of any full-size pickup in an EV package. That's a great solution. The kinds of tips and tricks that we are providing in the marketplace. So you've been driving an EV, you know about things like region on demand and other modes that enable more efficient EV driving, preconditioning your vehicle, think about how much the commitments that General Motors and Chevrolet have been making as far as charging stations, our Energy Assist app, our Ultium 360 Charge, which allow you to aggregate all of your charge point operators into one place. No more having to have 7, 10 different accounts. You can walk in, plug up, and charge. So there's a number of things that we're doing to overcome that. We know that it takes time. It's taken time. If it were easy, EV adoption would have come much faster at a much faster rate. But these are the sorts of things that we need to do. And to be honest, one thing that we take great pride in at Chevrolet is we like to use the power of our current EV base. There's nothing more powerful than talking to someone who has owned an EV. And so we do things like EV communities, we do things like our Chevrolet My Way Studio where we bring in owners and other subject matter experts, because we can advertise to you and we can do this and that, but there's great power in just sitting down with a friend, neighbor, colleague, relative and saying, what's it really like? And if we can do the things in the marketplace to provide tools and resources, phenomenal products, we think that it's going to be a combination of, yes, advertising, marketing, working with people like you that help as EV ambassadors, but really leveraging the power of the EV community out there, because that's probably the strongest way this is going to happen.
Final question. You talked about the EV community, about Bolt EV drivers, and I know the audience of this channel would not forgive me if I didn't ask the obvious question. In the last 12 to 18 months, General Motors has had issues with the battery fires on the Chevrolet Bolt, the batteries produced by LG Energy, which is the battery partner for Ultium, the battery platform and drivetrain platform that underpins this truck. A lot of Chevrolet Bolt EV owners have felt, frankly, a little burned in the last 18 months. A lot have vowed off Chevrolet and General Motors looking forwards. It feels as if General Motors electric vehicles have gone from being a very popular, very affordable EV in the Bolt, which I still think is a cracking car, I own two, to a vehicle that a lot of people have gone, I don't want anything to do with this, and I don't want anything to do with the brand, because of the way that the PR was handled over the battery debacle. How is this vehicle going to help GM regain the trust and the faith of those people who feel burned by the battery fires?
Yeah, that's a massive question that we deal with on a daily basis. You know, first and foremost, unfortunate what has happened, but I would say that from Mary Barra on down, Chevrolet and General Motors have always had a philosophy of put the customer at the center and do the right thing. And I would say that our handling of the situation that we face ourselves now with Bolt EV and EUV has been the best that it can be. We have not produced a Bolt EV. We have not. We have been going through battery replacement. We've been working with LG. We've been keeping our customers communicating as forthright as we can. We've put every single vehicle on stop sale. You know, I'm not going to debate the statistics of the number of fires versus the population. You know, but look, one fire is too many, and that's been our approach. And we have not started production back up because we want to make sure we can take care of customers. Battery replacement is well underway. Communications are happening with customers. We have identified the highest risk populations and we're moving down that system. So it is first and foremost our goal to regain trust with our customers. We see a lot of people who are very pleased with the process, who are very happy with the fact that we have done things to keep those that can't get their battery replaced safe, with charging instructions, with software updates as far as target charge levels, taking your car outside. We're introducing software for those that can't get their battery replaced to make sure that they can maximize available range. So I think we're doing the right thing, and I think on whole, we're getting a lot more positive than we are negative, but I don't discount that every situation, every person's individual circumstances, but it's always our goal to make sure customers are 100% happy, and we've got things like concierge services and a number of other things to make people happy. So first and foremost, if there's a Bolt EV or EUV owner out there with a problem, please contact us. We will have a one-to-one relationship with you. As far as this right here, certainly working with LG and all of our partners, but making sure we can control manufacturing more. You know, look, Ultium is a brand new platform. It's a new chemistry. It's a new whole battery system. We feel very confident in what we've got with this moving forward, and we're starting to roll products out, and I think we've got the right solution.
Thanks very much, Steve. It's been a pleasure. I know we could talk much longer, but we're almost up with our hour, and we've got a little bit more filming to do. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here.
And thank you all for joining us here online. If you haven't had a chance to check out our walkthrough with the truck and our chats with Nichole and Ryan, be sure to follow the links below. And if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There is plenty of discussion going on. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and our other channel, Transport Evolved Take 2, for longer takes and behind the scenes stuff. Thanks on behalf of the entire TE crew go out to the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month patrons. Special thanks to our $50 a month patrons Chris Maxwell, Brian Newton, Jason Bordor, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leong, Andrew Martin, Guido Drahota, Brophy Wolf, Tesla in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Kyle Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Rory Litwin, Anonymous Freak, Jim Burness and Denny Hyde. And our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month Patreon supporters, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Joe Bresney, JP Fagerback, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobnak, John Lyons, Christopher Lee Jones, Laura Reynolds, Paul Conway, Ellery Hennesley, and Ian. If you are feeling left out, you can join Patreon at the link below, or you can show us your support through Bitcoin, Ko-fi, or our cool swag store. Thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving.